Hey guys, so today we are going to do chili with beans. And there's meat in there too, so it's meat and beans. So that's what we're going to make today for our toothless eating. No, this is not canned cat food. This is mommy's food. No. No. I promise you it's not for you. Alright, so you can do this with homemade chili. It does not have to be out of a can. I'm doing it out of a can because it's quicker for me to show you. Now there are some foods I will be making this week. I'm going to add a little water. Hey, you're biting mommy's leg. Not biting, but nibbling. You're nibbling. I'll give you a treat when I'm done eating like I always do. So, you go chill out and relax. Alright, so this is a quick meal. Because it's basically heat and eat. So we'll turn this up and we'll let this warm up. And then we'll go from there. Meantime, let me get my tables all set up to eat. No, honey, it's not for you. You're so spoiled. Jeez, oh man. Goodness. No, honey, no. Now see, just to show you, it is real chunky, but it won't be after we put it through the processor to be able to eat it without teeth. Now, while consistency changes in the food, like from a solid to a liquid, while the consistency changes, the flavor doesn't. So just bear that in mind. Like this eggs and sausage I made yesterday, it still tastes like eggs and sausage. It doesn't lose its flavor. It just blends it together. And that's what's going to happen with this chili. No, Chubby. When you're heating foods up and stuff, you keep testing it. Like get some sauce. Test it on your tongue. Because you don't have feeling. And I've seen it where people eating their food, I've done it myself, and scorched the roof of your mouth or the back of your tongue. Because you can't feel your gums don't have that feeling. So, be very cautious of that. Alright, so now, after you've heated your chili up, pour it in the processor. about to get scared, kitty, because I'm about to zoom zoom. Put it together. Give it a couple taps. And let it go. And let it puree that up. I don't recommend picking this up the way I do. I'm just so used to doing it. I would pick it up a little bit more safely. So, unplug it. And then dump it in your bowl. Yes, it doesn't look appetizing, but the taste is still the same. All right, so now that everything's ready, now you eat. All right, so it's this chair, I swear. I bought a new cover for it, and it has these little rubber grippies, and it grips on it so it doesn't slide off the back of my chair. Anyways, so, and now we have a chili. And the chili is a blended consistency. It's not chunky anymore. But you're not going to lose that much flavor. I don't think it loses any, really, because you chew it up and swallow it anyhow. So, again, move it around and push it against the top of the back of the front of your mouth by your palate. If there's any little pieces that are too big to swallow. The other thing too is always keep a napkin or paper towel, which normally I do, but today I didn't because my cat was going a little crazy. If there's a bean or a piece of meat or something that's a little too big to chew, you'll be able to tell when you're moving around in your mouth if you can swallow it or not. And if not, just spit it out in your little paper towel, that's all. You know, you can make chili for the family, or your partner, whoever, and all you have to do is puree yours, and you can still eat dinner with your family. It's the same with pot roast. You can make a beef pot roast, a pork pot roast, and let it get real tender. You know, pull it apart, put it in the blender with gravy, and blend it so that it's like a meat gravy, sort of. And put that over mashed potatoes. It'll change your life if you've been living on a limited menu. You'll be eating pot roast and gravy and mashed potatoes. Or pork roast, gravy, mashed potatoes. You can also do the same thing with ribs. Boneless ribs. You can get beef or pork and make barbecued ribs and put them in the processor. Just add like whatever sauce, barbecue sauce or whatever, just add extra in with the meat. Because what happens is when you grind these meats and stuff, you want a broth, or you want a sauce or a gravy. You need that to keep that meat to break up and tender and easy to eat. If this was thick, I wouldn't be able to eat that. Nobody would. It doesn't have teeth. You know, it's weird. I have seen people eat potato chips and Doritos and with no teeth. I can't even get my jaws together or push against the roof of my mouth to break up like a graham cracker. I couldn't imagine anything else. When I have my teeth in, it either has to be pureed or something really soft, like a Twinkie. Or something like that. You know, you can do brownies if they're fresh and there's no like that crust on top. You can put a brownie in your mouth with some milk, mush it around, and you can actually eat that. There's so many things you can eat. A lot of people, like myself, are afraid they're going to choke. and it does happen. I've had eggs stuck in my throat and I had to, you know, pound on my chest and cough to get it up. And that's when I didn't have my teeth. And I had to learn how to grind it up, you know, put it in the processor and stuff. But you can make I did learn one of the hard things is chicken. Especially white chicken, because it's so dry. It just doesn't want to bust up. Like I've tried to make a chicken breast and then bust it up and use gravy with it and put it over mashed potatoes, but it just doesn't break up good, and it really just get caught in your throat. So I stick to beef, pork, and I don't eat a lot of pork. I don't digest pork very well. Like I don't eat pork chops, even when I had teeth. I don't eat pork chops. This is not my thing. Basically, the only thing pork I eat is a pork roast or a pork rib. Those are like the only two things I eat. Other than that, I like beef. Oh, that's a lie. I like bacon. Bacon, pork. I meant to tell you in yesterday's video why I normally eat with a spoon. You don't have teeth, so you don't know how far in you're sticking this. I had stuck the back of my throat before with a fork. You have to be careful of that when you're eating. What I've learned to do is I push the fork or the spoon against my tongue as it goes in. So I can feel how far back it's going. I rewatched my video yesterday and was like, oh my gosh, you're really forking, putting that fork in. So normally when I have puree like this, I use a spoon. But this is how you can have chili. You can still eat with your family, you just have to eat different. Tomorrow, I'm going to actually show you how to make like kibasi or sausage, kibasi, with black-eyed peas and rice. You make the rice, you heat up the black-eyed peas, you mix them together, you puree them, you fry the meat, cut up the meat, like my dad will take his portion. You let the people who are eating have theirs, and you have yours, and I usually do the meat first. I'll puree the meat and put it on my plate, and then I'll puree the rice and beans together and put them on a plate, but I always make sure I have enough juice from the beans so it doesn't get all thick. And then I'll take a spoonful of meat and put it in the beans and rice, eat it, goes right down. But we're going to make that tomorrow so I can show you how to do that, and that'll add another item to your menu. There's a lot of food. Excuse me, that was rude. There's a lot of foods you can make. I lost a lot of weight when I first had my extractions because my menu was so limited. I mean, granted, I'm sick also, but I lost like 35 pounds, which I couldn't afford to lose. I was already underweight. And after I said, well, I got to do something, and I said, I'm just going to get a food processor. I'll just do what moms do with their kids and make baby food, basically. It is what it is, but it tastes better because it's regular food. And there you have it. Chili, excuse me. Now, not have my napkin. I think I had some in the freezer, I'm not sure. But I made cabbage rolls. or pigs in the blanket, or whatever you call them. Now, I grew up in the 70s and we called them pigs in a blanket, but they're cabbage rolls, meat and cabbage and rice. All right, and sauce, and you can eat those. You just heat them up, put them in the grinder, and bump it a few times, and let it get that meat and stuff ground up, and then turn it on one notch. Let it go. Keep scraping the sides. Let it go, and check on it, because you want to make sure that it's breaking up. That's one thing you want to get a little hotter, because you want to make sure it's breaking up that cabbage. But it ends up just like this chili. I also made stuffed cabbage soup, or pigs in the blanket soup. So I made both, and I'm not sure which one I have downstairs in the. We have a little deep freezer. Not sure which one I have down there. I know I have one of them though, because I'm pretty sure I saw one the other day. Either one, but we'll make that too this week one day. Some spaghetti and the other stuff that I showed in yesterday's video. Some more solid type foods. I want to show you how to make them. Cans of soup and stuff are easy. Tomato soup, that's heat and eat. You don't have to do anything to it. You just heat and eat tomato soup and you're good. You can use milk, use water, whatever. Chicken noodle soup. I have found, because I don't eat Campbell's when it comes to chicken noodle. I dump it in a pan, and then I pick the pieces of chicken out, because I don't like chicken noodle soup pureed. It doesn't taste, the Campbell's, it doesn't taste right. But I've learned to use a fork and mash the noodles up good enough to where I can just swallow them pretty much. So, but I take the chicken out, and I add a little bit of water, heat it up, throw the chicken away with the can, and just eat the noodles in the broth. Ramen is the same way. I don't use ramen the squares, because they just taste funny to me. I like the cup, but I dump the veggies out that come in the cup, because again, they're freeze dried, so they're really hard, and it's hard to swallow them. But if you make regular ramen in a square pack, you don't have the vegetables or anything. The square pack is easier to make, but for some reason the cup tastes better, and it might just be a psychological thing with me, because it sits with the vegetables in it, and I feel that the vegetables give flavor to the noodles. Even though I dumped them out, they've been sitting in the pack together. So, I don't know. Could just be my imagination. But, what else? Sausage, gravy, and biscuits. We're going to make that this week. Or not biscuits. Sausage and gravy. I'm doing toothless. Sausage and gravy and scrambled eggs. Because I can't do bread and stuff without any teeth. Some people can. I'm not one of those people. I'm showing you what I can eat with no teeth. Just to add stuff to your menu. You might be able to eat a little bit more if you can eat like chips and bread and whatever without teeth. God bless you. God bless you, because I sure can't. So we're going to do stuff like that. All right. That's it for me. We ate a bowl of chili. Fabulous. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Love you.